The 6 hours of Fuji are upon us. The penultimate round of WEC in 2025. Let's talk about it. Here's what to look out for. Starting off with the schedule, I'll give it in local time, then we'll switch across to UK time right afterwards. On the 26th, 10:15 FP1 and 2:30 FP2. On the 27th, 9:50 for FP3, qualifying starting at 2:20 and hyperpole ending at 3:30, with the race starting at 11 AM and running until 5 PM. For those of you in the UK like myself, that means that free practice is at 2:15 AM and 6:30 AM on the Friday. On the Saturday, FP3 is at 1:50. Qualifying starts at 6:20 and ends at 7:30. And the race starts at 3 AM and runs through to 9 AM. So it's going to be an early one. It's going to be a long one, but it should be a fun one. In terms of driver lineup changes, I'm going to quickly go through some of them in case there are any. Well, firstly, Michael Christensen will not be present in the number 5. Matthew Jaminet will still be present, so it's 2 drivers there. I believe at the same time there will still be 3 drivers at the Toyota Gazoo Racing, with Sebastian Buemi staying there. Mike Conway should be back, so Jose Maria Lopez dropping back down. But elsewhere, I believe this is the last one for... Isn't it the last one for Stoffel Van Dorn before Theo Porcher comes in for the finale? I think that is the case when it comes to the hypercar. In LMGT3, Racing Spirit of Le Mans, we'll see Anthony McIntosh back behind the wheel. We last saw him a couple of races ago. Derek De Boer was at the previous round, the Lone Star Le Mans. Like I mentioned, when it comes to the Lexus, we are seeing the return of Jose Maria Lopez back behind the wheel of the 87. Jack Hawksworth filled in for him at COTA. Ben Barnicoat will be remaining in the car for the 3rd race for him this season in the 78. As far as I'm aware, those are the only things lineup change-wise for this event. In terms of the balance of performance, we'll start off with the hypercars. There's only a little bit in the way of changes for this time around. An increase in the base power for the Alpine, and also an increase in the power decrease above 250 clicks. At the same time, the maximum stint goes up by a couple of kilojoules pretty much across the board, sorry, megajoules even, with exception to the Peugeot, which stays the same. Peugeot does see an increase in the power deficit, whilst Ferrari sees an increase in their power buff. The only teams that seem to suffer in any kind of way would be potentially a bit of power stuff for the likes of the Caddy or the Toyota, and how those interact. But generally, it's going to be consistent. This is the first time properly we're going to see the current system of BOP having cycled through. The one which is based off of your fastest average time of a certain percent of your laps. It's a weird way they're calculating it. When it comes to the LMGT3, there is a little bit of a power gain going up for most of the cars. It is going down, however. So the Aston is the one that suffers the most. The one that benefits the most is the Ferrari. When you look at the weight before the success ballast is applied, the Ford has the biggest increase at 15 kilos. It is not the heaviest car. That is still the Ferrari, but hopefully that power buff will help negate the increase. But elsewhere, the lightest, I believe, remains to be the Porsche, whilst the Mercedes doesn't hit too badly in regards to this. All of them roughly see a 30 megajoule increase in their maximum energy timer. Meanwhile, if we have a look at the success handicaps, we're going to see 6 kilo for Racing Spirit of Le Mans. The 21AF Corsa will have 12, be 6 for TF Sport Vista AF Corsa, then 12 for the WRT 46, the TF Sport 81. The Acodis ASP 87 will have 18 kilos, as will the Mante First One Porsche and the United Autosports number 95 McLaren. Now turn the clocks back 12 months and it was pole position for Cadillac from Toyota by 0.04 of a second. They were a tenth and a half clear of the number 15 BMW and similarly the number 7 Toyota. You had the number 6 who was 5th ahead of the Alpine 35. The lead Ferrari was a 50 and they were in 7th. However, when the race came around, it was the 6 that took the win from the number 15 WRT. With Alpine's 36 rounded out the podium, top 5 being rounded out by the Peugeot 93 and the Haas Team Jota number 12. 38 not that far behind. For Toyota, it was a bit of a nightmare. Number 8 was the lead one in 10th, and then for the number 7, there was the contact with the number 5 Porsche Penske that forced them out. Thinking, did it also involve the 82 TF Sport? I can't remember now. Or was that the one with the Cadillac? Either way, whilst it's tricky to say who will benefit year to year when you factor in how the BOP has changed so many times, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jota up towards the front. I mean, they ran well last year with the Porsches, and the Cadillac has generally been good at tracks like these. If you look at its performance at Indy, I know IMSA is a different BOP system. It could benefit them. Likewise, as I've said for a couple of races at IMSA, this is the kind of track that will benefit the likes of the Ford. I think this is generally okay for the front engine ones because of the stop-start and the long straights. So this may be a more competitive one for the Merc as well. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? But either way, folks, as always, I want to thank you so much for watching and joining. On Sunday, I'll sit down and I will be talking about the race itself. Hopefully. But until then, it's bye-bye for now.